If you could have a drink with anyone in the theater world, who would it be? I'm Anthony Caporale, and I'm running through my list. Each week, I'll sit down with cast members, bartenders, and personalities from New York's theater district and get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to live, work, and play on Broadway. Come have a drink with us on Broadway Bartender. Welcome to Broadway Bartender. My name is Anthony Caporale. We are at New World Stages in the heart of Manhattan's theater district, home to my show, The Imbible, A Spirited History of Drinking. And this week, we're going to start out with one of my favorite classic drinks, a gimlet. So I'm going to go ahead and make two, one for me and one for my special guest. As usual, I'm going to start with a couple big scoops of ice in my tin. And I'm going to make a classic gimlet, so I'm going to use gin. And I will be using 2 ounces of gin per drink in the tin. And then I need something to sweeten that up, so I'm going to use some simple syrup. And I just want about a 1/4 ounce per drink of simple syrup. I like it to be a nice tart drink. And then, of course, lime juice. And as always on Broadway Bartender, only fresh citrus will do. So we're going to do the juice of 1 whole lime, which is a 1/2 lime per drink. And what I'm going to do with this second half, we call this the hull, is I'm actually going to drop it in the tin because there's all of these beautiful essential oils on the hull, and that's where most of the lime flavor is. And they are soluble in alcohol, which is in that tin. So I want that to really kick the lime flavor up. And then I'm going to go ahead and shake this up really, really well. And I want to chill this drink and dilute it. There's not a lot of mixer in this drink. The ice melt is really important as a mixer. And then I'm going to serve this over fresh ice, as we always do. And I will strain this over the fresh ice. And my garnish is really, really simple. Just a nice wedge of fresh lime. And this is going out to Sarah Shepard, who's currently appearing in Beautiful on Broadway. Welcome to Broadway Bartender, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
This is your drink, I was told, yes?
Yes.
All right.
It's refreshing and delicious.
Cheers. I couldn't agree more. Let's see how we did here.
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
That's the jam.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Great.
So good.
I love it when I can make a gimlet that a gimlet drinker appreciates.
Oh, it's so good.
Fantastic.
The shake, it's all about that shake.
It's all about the shake.
It really is.
And it's about, to me, it's about not being too sweet.
Yeah, no,
right?
when you said tart, I was like, that's the way.
That's
it's
what you
gotta
want.
have that.
Gotta
yeah,
let
lime.
that juniper from the gin come out. Okay,
So
anyway,
good.
so I want to talk to you about Beautiful. I mean, the show's a phenomenon, right?
Yeah, it's doing really well.
You could say that. It's doing
a hit.
really well.
Yeah,
it's a hit.
And we're still doing great, and we're in our 4th year, so.
That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
really.
four years on Broadway today is just
It's crazy.
Is crazy.
I pinch myself. It's
yeah,
awesome.
really. So tell me about your role in the show. I understand you wear several different hats.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a swing.
Yeah.
I cover 4 different tracks in the show. I cover Carol, I cover her mom, and I cover the 2 female ensemble tracks. And then I'm the dance captain. So
Wow.
I put everybody into the show. Yeah.
Okay, so many questions.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, Carol, we're talking about Carole King.
Yes.
So tell us what is the show about for people who might not know what Beautiful is about.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna drink a little bit.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, so the show is about Carole King. What's amazing is we get to see her from 16 until she moves to California and writes Tapestry. So what's really special, I think, is that it's not a normal jukebox musical in the sense that, oh, we just made up a story and put these awesome songs together. We actually get to see her story and her life and how sort of Tapestry came to be, which I think so many people are touched by that particular album.
Okay, so for the Instagram generation out there, tell us about Tapestry.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tapestry, oh God, if I get this wrong, I'm gonna feel horrible. I think it came out in 71 or 72. Yeah, and it was her first sort of solo album. And because before, she wrote for other people, which I didn't even know when I first started the show. She wrote for the Drifters and the Shirelles, and she wrote the Locomotion and things like that, which I had no idea.
Crazy popular songs.
Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? So when Tapestry came about, she sort of decided that, you know, she wrote all of these songs and thought, you know, they don't really sound like, they don't sound like they're right for anybody else. And it's telling my story. And so she put them all together on an album that was hers. And it was the first time she was singing all of her own songs.
And that's what made her as a performer as well as a songwriter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she, from if I got my numbers correctly, it was something like 118 songs on the Billboard charts over her career.
I have no doubt, yeah.
I mean, by far the most successful female composer, songwriter of this part of the century. Yeah.
And still, I mean, Tapestry, is still crazy high in terms of the amount of records it sold. Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing.
And she had a really special relationship with James Taylor, didn't she?
She did. James Taylor was actually the person who sort of pushed her out in front of a crowd. She really didn't want to be a singer. And he was sort of a huge player in terms of getting her out and using her own voice to sing her stuff, which is awesome.
Now, was gender a factor? Please, go ahead, that's why I made it for you. Was gender a factor in why she started out as a songwriter as opposed to performer? I would think that wouldn't have necessarily been a handicap.
Yeah, I don't think that was really it. I think when she met her writing partner, Jerry Goffin, when they were, 16 in Queens College. And I think she just wanted to be a songwriter. And he wrote the lyrics and she wrote the music. And then Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow was their first #1 hit, and she wrote that at 16, which is crazy. I mean, it's so crazy,
that
right?
Amazes me.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. And especially, which I mean, not to talk about Jerry Goffin a little bit, I mean, he wrote the lyric, which is such a feminine lyric, really, when you listen to it. And he was, I think, maybe 18 at the time. So, I mean, it's just unbelievable what they were able to create at such a young age. So I don't really think so much it was a gender in terms of her performing or not. I just don't think she just had no desire to do that, I don't think, yet, to use her own voice. I think she wanted to just be able to write the music for people. And then, as life sort of happened to her, that sort of evolved, yeah.
So is this sort of transition in her life, this is the central sort of theme of Beautiful, is making that decision to become a performer?
Absolutely, and how that sort of happened to her. Because her relationship with Jerry is pretty troubled, and she ends up leaving him, and I'm not giving anything away. I mean, it's like the life's already happened.
Probably
right? We can continue.
Right?
Okay. I'm not. No spoilers here.
No spoilers.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So. Yeah, and so then when she moves to California with her family, she starts writing some more, and just sort of finds her own voice and sort of her own, I guess, womanhood, I guess, in a way. It was sort of the first time she was by herself, alone, with her kids, and she was able to find her own voice, I think.
So how long have you been with the show?
From the beginning.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I've seen so many people come in and out, different Carols, different Jerrys. I mean, so it's very cool to see the dynamic change with who's playing it.
Right. And I understand you were actually there when Carol came to see the show.
Yes.
What's that like?
Yeah, it was crazy. I wasn't on that day, which I'm kind of was thrilled about because I got to tape. I was in the back of the house.
Uh-huh.
And I had actually run into one of our producers on the way out, and he was like, "You don't want to leave tonight. You don't want to leave. Stay to the end of the show, because if I'm not on, I can leave early."
Yeah.
So he was like, "You want to stay?" I'm like, "All right."
Oh, so they didn't tell people?
They didn't know. So only 2 people in the theater knew she was coming, and she actually watched the show in disguise, in a wig and sunglasses. Yeah. So because she just didn't want people watching her watch her life, because that's just so weird. So then she.
I didn't even think about that. I'm thinking she doesn't want to throw the actors, but it would be weirder for the audience.
Yeah, they're just like, "Do you see yourself up there?"
Right,
it's so weird. So anyway, so they brought her back sort of during the curtain call, and it was when we were collecting for Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, and Jared Spector was giving the speech, and then just out from stage right, she just comes walking out, and this is on YouTube, and you should look it up.
Oh, I can't imagine.
She
what
just
that's
everybody lost it, and. What's very cool is when she saw an early reading of the show and was just she actually left at intermission. She was just like, it's too much. It's pretty intense, this early part of her life, and so to sort of see that on stage is a little heartbreaking and tough to watch. But then she her youngest daughter, Sherry, was like, Mom, we gotta do this show. Like, it's really special. But she sort of stayed away from it for a while. She didn't come to opening. She just kind of let it do its own thing and had her people sort of take care of it. So to see her come and love it was so awesome. And just like really get behind it. And then she did the Tonys with us, you know? So that was like, she was like really, really supporting it, which was so awesome.
What an amazing tribute for someone who started out looking for almost no recognition, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's still to this day, like, you can just tell, like, Fame is just, she doesn't care.
Right.
She is just like so grounded, down to earth. Yeah, I mean, that just sort of happened because of the territory, but it was in no way the sort of like the end that she wanted, you know? Wow. Yeah, so yeah, she's special.
Okay, so I have some questions for you now.
Okay.
All right, so I want to get behind the scenes in terms of like what it's like being in a performance like this. So first of all, define for folks who may not be familiar with the terms, understudy and swing.
Yeah.
Confused all the time, especially among non-theater people. Explain.
So, being a swing, I'm not on stage every night. But it is my job at any given point, during a show, before a show, to be able to go on and fill in for people who are not there.
And multiple roles.
Multiple roles, yeah, yeah.
So you have to be able to literally walk on with how much notice?
It's happened at 5 minutes to places.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And boom, you have to have that role performance ready, Broadway level.
Yeah, and to step into a show that is like a machine. You know what I mean? At this point,
sure,
like, it's not like
4 years.
we're figuring it out. Yeah, it's just like, it's gonna go.
They're gonna know if it doesn't match.
And you better go. You better get on the train.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then understudying, to understudy is to go on for a principal, I would say. But I mean, to be fair, I also understudy the ensemble tracks that I go on for as well. But I think swing, the term swing usually implies that you're not on stage every night and you're covering a lot of different tracks.
roles, as opposed to understudies are more like, if you're not there, I will do that one role type thing. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So cool. Now I have to ask you. One of the roles that you understudy is Carol.
Yeah.
Now Carol is a person who's still around.
A real person.
I'm fascinated by roles like this. How do you draw the line between having people view your performance as being good because it's imitative of her, and having it be good because it's in some way organic to you? I mean, that's got to be like a really fine line, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think as soon as you sort of go down that like imitation route, it becomes false to you even, which then takes away from her, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So you're not trying. Your goal is not to do a Carole King imitation. That's not your goal, right?
No. I think, especially in terms of the singing, you know, to be able to pick up nuances of her sort of her phrasing, sort of the feeling of what she exudes while singing is what's the most important versus trying to imitate her sound exactly. Because really, at the end of the day, you're the vessel. And if you're putting on this like crazy fake voice, it's just not going to feel authentic. And I think the core of Carole King is just authenticity. Like, she is just natural in who she is. And I think to be able to, you know, take, like I said before, just some phrasing that she does, some stylistically things that she uses, I think that in a way is sort of an homage to her without trying to be like, I sound exactly like Carole King.
I like that. So it's more of your homage
like
to Carole.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine that there are members of the audience that want the songs to be recognizable to the recordings that they must know by heart.
Absolutely. Right? And they'll get that. They will get that anyway. Versus being like, oh, she breathed here. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not going to pull your ear so much. But the melody, you will recognize that. Right. I mean, even still, this is one of my favorite moments to talk about in the show. The first time she sits down to play Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, she sits and plays a chord. And the first chord, she says, tonight you're mine. It's the first time she's hearing it for herself. And the entire audience just goes, ah. And like, so they're with you before they've even heard the rest of the melody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're so iconic. Yeah.
So you've seen how many different carols about go in, do you think?
We actually just have a new one too. We had Jessie, and we had Shalina, and now Abby is in right now. And then there's been 3 of us 3 of us that have understudied it and have gone on. Yeah. So that's like 6 people that I've
that
seen
have done the role.
it. Yeah.
And so every one of them brings something recognizable and unique to the role.
Yeah. I mean,
that's amazing.
Absolutely.
And yet they're all still portraying the same character.
And I think what's very cool, and it's a testament to her story and the show, but everybody who walks out at the end of the night, everybody's on their feet because they love her so much.
Right.
You know, and her music, and sort of what she overcame to be what she is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so last question before I'm going to ask you to make me a drink.
Oh God. Okay.
Dance captain, you literally put people in the show. One, what does that mean, and what's that like? That's got to be amazing amount of responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, especially from being a swing in the original cast. There's kind of a lot of sitting around as they're figuring out the show, but I had to like also learn. I mean, I had to learn everything that was happening. So I felt like very much a part of it, even though I was sort of on the outside. Yeah, so I mean, I have to learn know all of the choreography, and then teach any new track that comes in.
So
but
anytime a new person comes in the show, they're in your hands.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for getting them performance ready.
Yep.
So does the director come in at any point, or are they just right now? It's like Sarah's got it.
Here and there, and we have what's amazing. Joyce Chittick is our associate choreographer, and she came in about a year into the run, a year and a half into the run, and she's awesome because now there's like 2 of us doing it, which is so helpful because it's just another body, and she's amazing and it helps bring energy into the room. Yeah, but it's just us putting them in, and then we do a put in, and then they go in that night, and then it's like, good luck.
That's it.
Yeah, no, it's good. And then we watch and make sure it's good.
Welcome to the run.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So congratulations. I mean, what an incredible story. I mean, for Carol's story is incredible, but an incredible story for you also to be a part of something like this from the beginning for so long. I mean, you know, so many actors would be thrilled to have a run like this for 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
You know, would be incredible.
It's amazing.
So,
I feel so lucky.
So the only problem is now I want to see the show, but I want you to be in it. But the whole thing about your role is that you never know when you're going to be in it, right?
That's okay. That's what email's for.
I'll settle for you making me a drink. You want
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right, cool. So I actually made this drink up in my homage to Beautiful. It's called The Beautiful, and I'm going to keep the gin, if that's cool, because I assume you're a fan.
I love it.
So why don't you switch with me?
Oh God. Okay.
Come over on this side. Okay. So we have a mixing tin clean right there. Go ahead and fill it about halfway up with ice. There should be an ice scoop in there.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
I'm going to assume that the one with the lipstick is yours.
Yeah, so
I'm going to put that over there. Okay, great.
Cool.
Now, you have a bottle of Hendrick's gin over there.
Yeah.
I want you to turn it upside down and count to 4.
Oh God, okay.
All right, and that's going to be 2 ounces. Beautiful.
3, 4.
Perfect. Now, in the speed rail down there, you have limoncello. Now, limoncello is an Italian liqueur, and it's made from the zest of fresh lemons in an alcohol base.
Okay.
Count to 4 again.
Okay.
And this is going to give it a beautiful lemon color.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, good. Now, we're going to use some fresh grapefruit juice, which is in, there you go. So you have a jigger.
Okay.
I want you to turn it over to the big side.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want you to fill that up twice and pour that in there.
Okay.
And that is freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. Lovely.
Delish.
And then, so now we got a lot of nice sweet things in there. I want a little bit of heat to balance it, so we have some fresh ginger. And just dump that in there. That's just thin slices of fresh ginger.
Great.
Okay? Take that glass and put it on the tin.
Okay.
Pull it to one side and then push it down so it just kind of twist it. You'll feel it lock. Yeah?
I think I did it.
Great.
Yeah.
One hand on top, one hand on the bottom. Good.
Okay.
And then shake. Fabulous. And this is where the bartenders earn their money.
Right?
Is in the shaking.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and take that out.
All right.
Fabulous.
Cool.
And you have 2 martini glasses. You can put those right in front of you.
Right.
And there should be a strainer
Okay.
right over there. Put that on top.
Wait, I do it on this.
Yeah, good. Look at you, already know exactly what you're doing. Yes.
Just thanks my boyfriend.
Go ahead and strain it. What's that?
My boyfriend, he works at a bar, so
I love
I've seen
it.
him do this a few times.
Good. And
Is that
then,
good?
Yep.
All right.
Right over there.
Oh God, I didn't do a balanced pour.
That's okay. You know what a balanced pour is, though, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, that's okay. I'm going to give you the big one.
Okay, cool.
Now, but we got to garnish this, and it's got to be beautiful. So go ahead and put a rose petal on top.
Just in the middle?
Just put it right in there.
That's so pretty.
Do you like that?
Yeah. Sorry, this
So
baby
that's
martini over
sort
here.
of my homage to beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, gin, limoncello, fresh
Thank
grapefruit
you.
juice, a little bit of ginger, and a rose petal.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
That's awesome. The
Oh,
ginger.
awesome. That's great.
Oh, it's so good.
Cool. Feel free to share that with the cast.
Oh my God, I will.
Or bring them in to come see the Imbible. I'd love to have you guys anytime. Come
Yeah.
see the show, and I'll make you some drinks.
Awesome.
Website for Beautiful.
Beautiful on Broadway.
Beautiful on Broadway.
Yes.
Okay, check it out. Folks, thank you so much for joining us on Broadway Bartender. Sarah, you have just been wonderful.
Oh, gosh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll have one more. Love
Check us out
it.
next week and on BroadwayBartender.com. Drink well, drink responsibly.
Great job.
Clear?
Yeah.
Woohoo! You are fabulous.
Oh, yay. I'm so
Fantastic.
glad. That was so fun.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
You're amazing.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. That was so fun.
Oh,